people have asked for a tour of some of the stuff in my garden. So I just want to do a quick update. This is an apple tree that I have growing in a pot that I fertilize. And it makes two different types of apples. Somehow they intertwined the tree when I bought it. And it makes green and red apples. And I keep it here under the trellis so the hummingbirds have something to land on. And I'm going to do all the fruits first, and then I'll do the veggies. And this is my peach tree, which is supposed to be considered dwarfed peach tree. And I do try to trim the top up here. I try to make it in a V. And you can see the peaches are starting to grow. Some years I get hundreds and hundreds of peaches, but unfortunately the little rat squirrel that I can't stand that lives in the back likes to come and eat all my peaches. So hopefully this year we'll be able to salvage some before the squirrel comes to eat it. Strawberries are still producing strawberries, as you can see. This year I had so many that I'm actually freezing them. Basically I have two varieties. I forget which two they are, but I planted over 50 plants. I put 25 in this one and 25 in that one. And they are so sweet. They need no sugar. They're amazing. And then these are the tomatoes that I have a few different varieties. The front row are the cherry tomatoes, and the middle are the beefsteak and some other ones. And then along the edges I have peppers, and in there I have some eggplant. And then over here is where I have some of my berries. These are blueberries, which they're just starting to turn color. I'd say another few days we'll have some blueberries. And there, I try to keep the net on it. This one blew off. I have to go fetch it because I have a bird that likes to come eat all the stuff. So that's the only bad thing about growing, is you got to watch out for nature. This is figs. This was the old fig growth. I didn't protect it very good last year, and we had a very snowy winter, so this is the dead growth, but the new growth comes out from the bottom. So as long as you keep the roots warm, you will get more. So those are figs. And then over here I have grapes. We have two varieties. We have green and purple. I've yet to see any purple. I've always keep getting green, but as you can see, it's starting to form little tiny grapes. They prefer dry, so I try not to water them, although this week it's been raining a little, so hopefully they'll do okay. But if it's too rainy of a season, they don't do good. They prefer dry. Bloom and sprout these flowers, I add more dirt. Then when that's covered and they start to sprout, then I add some more dirt until the top of the bag is full. And each bag will yield about 30 to 40 potatoes. And I have a total of 4 sacks. Last year I only did 2, but I was so pleased with it that this year I decided to do 4. So I'm excited because last year I had about 80 potatoes. So I'm assuming I could hopefully double it this year. And now I'm going to take you down to my other veggie patch. This is my bigger one. And hopefully my battery won't die because I don't feel like running in and charging it. So let's make this video quick. On the edge I have basil, and then I do put some flowers to draw the bees. Those tall green ones right there are zinnias. They didn't flower yet. I grew them from seed. Most of the stuff in here I grew from seed. I have some cherry tomatoes, carrots, Italian frying peppers. In the back along the trellis is string beans, pea pods, and tiny cucumbers. And then over here is corn that I grew from scratch. This is organic corn. I saved the kernels and grow my own corn. And then I have some broccoli over here. And in that back patch right there and right there is melon, like a honey melon. It's a choice between a honeydew and a cantaloupe, like a honeylope I think they call it. And then up here is some plum tomatoes. And this big giant patch right here is huge, is oregano. And then over here I put this little trellis thing. This will be cucumbers. I put some peppers underneath because they like shade. And then in that middle row right there is eggplant, and in the back will be the zucchini. So that's basically, yeah, that's the zucchini back there. And over there is some more oregano, and then that tall stuff I put sunflowers. Every so often there'll be sunflowers. So right now everything is still green. I live up northeast, so it takes a while. We won't start producing fruit, actually the vegetables, until probably the end of July, August, and by September we have an abundance of it. So this is my veggie garden. Feel free to ask me any questions or tips that you might have. I do fertilize. I try to do organic stuff, and I try to use organic pest control. I do try some home remedies like soap and peppermint oils and stuff first. If that don't work, then sometimes I pull out some other concoctions that I make, and if not, then I go ahead and purchase one of the store-bought powders to put on. But so far this year we've been good, except for the eggplant. They always like to attack the leaves of the eggplant, which is good, okay, as long as it doesn't attack the you know, the actual growth of the eggplant. And so far we're still in the growing stage. We haven't flowered. Over here you can see there are some little peppers starting, and they're supposed to be sweet Italian peppers. I hope they're not spicy, because I don't like hot and spicy. But that's my veggie garden, and now I'm going to show you my flowers. And I have a few different types of roses. These are lavender, which they already kind of bloomed, but they'll bloom again. Next to it I have coral. I have little white daisies. These tall things right here are hollyhocks. I'm not sure what color they are. I planted them last year, and they don't flower the first year, they flower the second year. So, oh, I see a bud. I guess this one's hot pink, and that one over there is a light pink, so I guess I have a mixture. Over here, these are different varieties of salvia. This I planted from seed. This is a Cosmo. That right there is a little, like a wild raspberry bush. It almost looks like roses, but I left it. And then in here, we planted some stuff. They're coral roses, and we'll have some more hollyhock type things, and those are sweet williams. Those come up every year. Those are like orange tiger lily type lilies. And then I just throw some stuff in here to see what I get. But this attracts all the butterflies and hummingbirds. But I don't know if you can see right in here in the center, I don't want to scare it away, but there's a mama robin sitting on a nest, and she has little baby eggs in there. I don't want to disturb her, if you can see right there. But anyway, that's where the little mama robin's living. I'm not sure how many eggs she has. I'll have to put an update, but usually it's 3 or 4. But she's in the rosebush, so I don't want to prune it to disturb her to get new growth. So I'll just wait till she finishes with her babies. This is hydrangea, blue hydrangea, which is just starting to turn the tips blue. More hollyhocks. These are just starting to come up. These are hosta. They'll make big purple shoots. These are going to be black-eyed Susans that are just starting to come up. And then over here I have another variety of blueberries, which, as you can see, this variety is starting to turn blue. And if you just shine it up, oops, we dropped that one. We don't want to lose that blueberry because it's good. If you shine it up, you have nice blueberries, which I have to watch because the birds like to come eat them. I have some more Cosmos that I planted from seed, some more Sweet Williams. These are called drift roses. I'm not sure what this tree is called, but I'm trying to shape it. If you could see, I pruned all the bottom and I gathered it with little ties. I want it just to flower at the top. These are just some random flowers. These are some more black-eyed Susans. These are some climbing roses that I have up a trellis. This is Clematis. This little thing here is going to be what's called a candy corn. I'll show you one that started to bloom. These are just some more pots and things. This is going to be a white hydrangea. This is called a mandevilla, and this will grow up the trellis real big. By the fall, this thing will be full. These are some more, oh God, I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, I told you the name before, I'm forgetting. But anyway, I plant these from seeds. And this is a morning glory that'll grow up this trellis. I planted this from a seedling. So everything's starting to bloom. And here's the candy corn. And if you look close, it really does look like a candy corn. And this will grow up the trellis, and the hummingbirds absolutely love, love, love it. This is just starting to bloom, and I plant these from seeds every year, and this is milkweed. I think this one's going to be the purple version. I have purple and orange. This attracts monarch butterflies to help save the monarch population, so I make sure always to plant that in my garden because I do love monarchs. And there is some weird plant, I forget the name of it, I'm gonna have to Google it, but when it opens up it makes these big orange looking like pine cones, but it's a flower. It's really interesting. And this is going to be, one side is going to be a hot pink and the other side is like a light pink hydrangea. These little ones here are called hens and chicks, and they literally, this is a weed, we can pull this out, they literally grow on rocks. There's no maintenance involved, and I plant them all the time and they come up every year, so those are awesome. On this side, this back here is mint. You can use it in drinks and herbs, you know, but it's great in like iced tea. This that's growing right here is lentils. My air conditioner unit just went on, so in case it gets noisy. We planted lentil seeds and it actually blossomed into a plant. And then if you look here, the green beans are starting. So I'll have to start coming to pluck some of these green beans. And I do need to weed in here. It's just, it's been a little rainy and I don't like bugs, so I gotta wait. That's lettuce. It reseeded itself from last year and I just left it. I find garden lettuce very bitter. I don't know, but I leave it for the rabbits. I try to help nature. So anyway, that's that. And these are some more black-eyed Susans. And some more black-eyed Susans. And this one, it does bloom, is going to be echinacea. And then all along the back of the fence are Rose of Sharon. Right now they are green. They just look like green. But in another 2 or 3 weeks, this will be filled with hues of pink and mauve and purple, and it'll look like I live in Hawaii. So once it blooms, it will be gorgeous. And then over here, this is my memorial rose bush for my little Yorkie that passed away 5 years ago. Her name was Baby, and she was my first baby before I had children. She lived to be 14. She died on Mother's Day, so I planted a rose bush there in memory of her, and they are pink scented roses. They absolutely smell heavenly. And the bizarre thing is, through the years, a Rose of Sharon decided to grow through and out of the rose bush. And the funny thing was, I know a lot of people probably gonna think I'm crazy, I had called a psychic on Blog Talk Radio for a free reading, and she had mentioned to me, did I have a rose bush planted in my yard? Which I have tons of rose bushes in my yard. And I said, well, yes. And she said, did you plant one in memory of somebody? And I said, yes. And she says, well, the rose bush is going to do something different. Like, for instance, if you planted pink, you'll get white, or something different is going to happen to the rose bush. And sure enough, 2 rose bushes did something bizarre. This rose bush grew this Rose of Sharon through it. And then the other rose bush I showed you that had the robin's nest in it, it grew 2 different colors. One is a bright red, and one side of the tree is like a burgundy. And I've had that tree for 7 years, and all of a sudden last year it decided to do some totally different color. So I just thought that was a little interesting for all those people who don't believe in psychics. I found that quite interesting. But anyway, this is a tour of my green garden, and soon it will turn so nice and colorful, and I'll show you another update as we go along.